Tuesday. First of all, let me get something straight. This is a diary, not a journal. And I don't care if some jerk catches me carrying this book around. I have bigger problems right now. Let me catch you up on what's going on recently. First of all, Mom and Dad are getting a divorce. It's because Mom cheated on Dad with another man, and Manny is his child, not Dad's. Second of all, this is all because of me. I pressed some stupid button that promised me wealth in exchange for a human life. It said that the person I killed would be completely random, but I think that was a lie. You see, that button didn't kill just anyone. It killed my grandma. Also, I have a theory. I think that button wanted to ruin my life. It implanted itself into my mind and basically drove me insane by forcing me to think about it. I also think it might have even got my dad fired from his job, all in an attempt to force me into pressing it, then allowing it to kill my grandma and ruin my entire life. And I know it sounds crazy, but why else would everything that's been happening happen? And third of all, I want to write it, but I'm in therapy now. Wednesday. It all started a few months ago when Mom and Dad began their divorce proceedings. Someone from the court came over to interview me and Manny, and Manny's interview was first. The interviewer asked Manny a few basic questions to start with. Stuff like, how does Mom treat you? How does Dad treat you? And do you like being here? However, Manny was quite unresponsive to the interviewer. Come to think of it, Manny's been quite different ever since Mom and Dad first started fighting. I didn't really notice it until the interview, though he's been really quiet and watching a lot of TV. Eventually, though, the interview wanted to see some of Manny's art, and that's where it got sad. Yeah, from the looks of things, Manny must have overheard some of Mom and Dad's arguments, and he seems not to be taking it too well from the inside. He also made this weird ball thingy, which I think is supposed to show how he feels, or it could just be him trying to murder one of us. Anyways, my interview was next, and though I was more talkative than Manny was, I did really want to open up for a number of reasons. I think the main reason, though, was that I thought if I told her how I was feeling, that it would make everything feel real. You see, up to that point, everything that happened ever since I woke up one day and found a button in my room had almost felt like a dream to me. The insanity, the chaos that came from pressing it, the new normal afterwards, and the divorce had all felt kind of fake, like a bad dream that I would never wake up from. That feeling allowed me to disconnect from reality, to keep living in the world that I had once known. I thought that if I started talking about it, about everything that's happened, it would wake me up from that dream in a way, and I'd have to finally face reality. However, the interviewer was somehow able to figure all of this out just from talking to me and gave me some court-mandated therapy. She said it would help me through my emotions about the divorce or something like that. I was angry at the time, but in retrospect, I am glad she did that. It's really helped me come to terms with the way my life is now. Though, I don't know if I'll ever be fully better. After all, that button still haunts my nightmares. But it's a start. Yeah, maybe someday I'll finally be free. Monday. Today was the day the court decided who would get custody of me and Manny, and since Roderick turned 18 last month, he wasn't part of it. The day started out normally, at least as normally as things can be right now. Mom moved in Grandma's old house when the divorce began, so it was just me, Manny, and Dad, home as usual. Chad drove us to court around 9 a.m. and it was super depressing. I could tell that he thought he was going to lose custody of us and that this would be the last time he would ever see his kids. We got there by 9:30 and had around half an hour to prepare. Dad was talking with his lawyer and I can see Mom doing the same across the courtroom. Honestly, though, the whole thing went by pretty quickly. They called me to the stand to testify, then Manny, then Mom, then Dad. It was pretty much over by lunch, and after lunch, we came back to hear the judge's verdict.
Well, with all the evidence has been given, here's my final verdict. Franken will have full custody of Gregory, while Susan will have full custody of Manuel.
After hearing that, Mom was devastated. She burst out crying right there in the courtroom. I guess she was expecting full custody of both of us. Dad, on the other hand, seemed pretty happy with the outcome. I guess he still doesn't view Manny as his own son anymore. The judge also said that each parent would get 4 hours of visitation time with the other child every week, and that seemed to make Mom even more upset. And honestly, I'm upset too. I love Dad, but I was kinda hoping to live with Mom. I just think she's a better parent. I mean, since she moved out, Mom decided to get a job to help fill her extra time. Dad, on the other hand, had still been coasting off his $500,000, spending his day in the basement playing with Civil War toys instead of actually parenting. So yeah, I guess it's gonna be me at home now, since Roger's moving out to live in an apartment with his bandmates next month. Friday. Things have been pretty lonely ever since Roderick and Manny moved out. Dad barely ever makes dinner, or breakfast, or lunch. He just gives me $20 on my way out the door every morning for that day's food, and I've tried to connect with him since it's just been us, but he seems completely uninterested in me. And believe me, I've tried. Dad, do you want to go play catch? Sorry, Greg. I'm kind of busy right now. Busy right now? Well, you have no job, Dad. You just been coasting for $1,000,000. It's not going to last forever. How do you think we even got to this situation in the first place? Come on, Dad, get a job, please. Play with me, please. Come on. Don't worry, Greg. I'll get a job when I'm right and ready. Yeah, I almost forgot to mention, but he still doesn't even have a job yet. And all he does anymore is play with stupid Civil War figures. What about me? Why doesn't he want to play with his own child? Mom's not much better either. The only time I really get to see her is when she gets me from school every week. Yet, all she wants to talk about with me is how great Manny's doing and how much she's spoiling him. I guess she feels bad about the way her and Dad treated him after the news of the affair broke. And even the rare moments I do get to talk to her, I can't even tell her about what's going on at home. I mean, anytime I mention Dad, even in the most roundabout way, she just shuts down, so I can only tell her about what's going on at school. Same old, and I swear, nothing interesting happens at that place. Saturday. Shit! The button's back!
Hello, Gregory.
How's that money been working out for you?
Shut it, you evil button! You ruined my life! My grandma died because of you! My parents divorced because of you! My family's broken because of you! I don't want to hear any more of your lies, your deception, your temptation! Get out! Get out of my head!
Ha! Sure you'll say that, but you wouldn't dare destroy me.
Hey, it's been a few years since I wrote this whole thing. Oh boy, where to begin? For starters, I'm 18 now. I'm graduating high school in a few weeks, and I was going through old stuff when I found this thing. Wow, reading through all this, it really takes me back. I was going through so much at that time, and I was not in a good mental state. It was better near the end, but I still had a lot of work to do. I still do, really, but it's gotten much better over the years. After the bomb was destroyed, all leftover money from it disappeared without trace, and I suppose it was good timing too, since I recently learned the FBI was investigating how we got the money, and with no money, there was no evidence. However, that forced Dad to get off his ass and go get a job. So, Dad ended up starting his own company to compete with the Jeffersons. Apparently, they sold custom figurines to people. That's where Dad got all his from before he was fired, and turns out he wasn't just playing with Civil War sit down there all day either. He was actually getting his business off the ground by poaching his old clients from Mr. Jefferson's company, and I am proud of him for that. Mom and Manny are still living in Grandma's old house, but turns out she ended up starting her own company too. She runs her own preschool near the elementary school, and it's actually really good. Mom and Dad are also back on good terms again. It started with Mom's school commissioning Dad's company to make various figurine decorations for his school, and that got them talking. And I'm just glad to see them being friends again. But that's not all. Rogers also found success. Yeah, it turns out Low Diaper is a hit. He struck it big with a viral video of one of their loaded diapers exploding all over him, and from there, they were able to build a following, and now they're on tour. And that's pretty much where we're all at now. Oh, looks like I've run out of pages. I guess it's goodbye then. Goodbye to an era of my life. I look forward to seeing where I go next, and I just have one thing left to say. The end.